The small cap stock you bought last month, the one that went up 40% in 2 weeks and then crashed 60%, that wasn't bad luck, that wasn't market volatility. Someone planned that and where the exit. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how it works step by step because once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Every few months, a new stock goes viral in WhatsApp group, in Telegram channels, on YouTube. Someone's cousin doubled his money. Your colleague is talking about it at lunch. The stock is up 80% in 30 days. And then quickly, without warning, it falls apart. 50% gone in a week. And everyone's asking the same question, what happened? Nothing happened. Nothing went wrong with that company. Nothing changed in the fundamentals. It was never about the company. It was a game. And nobody was playing it on you. If you don't understand how this works, you keep falling for it every single time. First, let's understand what a small cap stock actually is. A small cap is a company with a market cap, meaning total value of under roughly 5,000 crore rupees. These are smaller, lesser known business, maybe a small manufacturer, a regional pharma company, a niche logistic firm. Now, here's the key thing about small cap stocks. They have very low liquidity. That means not many shares are traded every day, which means, and this is critical, it doesn't take much money to make the price. If a large cap like Reliance trends 500 crore worth of shares every day, moving its price requires hundreds of crores. But a small cap trading 2 crores a day, you can move that price with 20 to 30 crores, sometimes less. That is the playground operator's choice. Not because the company is good, because the stock is easy to control. Now, who are these operators? They are not some shadowy villain in a movie. They could be a promoter, a broker, a syndicate of HNIs, high net worth individuals, sometimes even connected to the company itself. They have money, connections, and patience, and they have a plan. Point one, the accumulation phase. Step one is called accumulation, and it's the most patient part of the game. The operator identifies a stock usually beaten down, low price, low volume, almost nobody watching it. Over weeks, sometimes months, they slowly start buying. Very carefully, small quantities every day so the price doesn't move too much too fast. They don't want anyone noticing yet. Think of it like this. Imagine a small shop selling 10 samosas per day. Suddenly, someone starts quietly buying 8 of them every day, but ordering one at a time, spread across the day. The shopkeeper barely notices the price hasn't changed, but this one buyer now controls most of the supply. That's what accumulation looks like in the stock market. The operator is quickly building a huge position, sometimes 10, 15, and even 20% of the entire floating stock, without moving the price. And retail investors, they're not even looking at the stock yet. Point number two, the pump phase. Now comes the interesting part. The operator has accumulated enough. Now they need the price to go up so they can sell at a profit. So they have to create buyers. This is the pump. It usually starts with a story, a narrative, something that sounds exciting. This company just got a government contract, major FII buying detected. This stock is the next multi-bagger under the radar. Where does the story spread? Everywhere. Paid WhatsApp group, Telegram channels with 50,000 members, YouTube finance channels getting paid to cover the stock, Instagram pages running stock, tip reels, even sometimes fake news alerts. And then something psychological happens. The stock starts moving, it's up 5% one day, 8% the next, volume is picking up, and now real retail investors starts noticing. FOMO kicks in, the fear of missing out. This thing is running and I'm not in it. People start buying, more buying pushes prices higher, higher prices attract more buyers. It becomes self-fulfilling. In a matter of weeks, the stock has gone from 40 to 120 rupees. Up 200%, the WhatsApp group is on fire. Everyone's a genius. I told you this was the one. But here's what nobody says out loud. The operator is now sitting on a massive profit on paper and they need to get out. Point number three, the dump phase. This is when it turns dark. The dump. The operator starts selling, but again, carefully, they can't just jump everything at once. This could crash the price immediately and alert people. So they sell slowly at first, small quantities where the stock is still going up, but the WhatsApp group is still bullish. While retail investors are still piling in, buying direct from the operator without knowing it. Thinking about that for a second, at the peak of the hype, when everyone is most excited and most confident, the operator is on the other side of every single buy order. You buy, they sell, you are their exit. And then once they're offloaded most of the position, the story quietly disappears. The WhatsApp tip stops, the YouTube videos stop, the volume dries up, and the stock starts falling. First, slowly, then fast. Rupees 120 becomes rupees 90, then rupees 60, then rupees 35, sometimes lower than where it started. The retail investors who bought a rupees 100 is now starting at rupees 35 and waiting for a recovery that will never come, because this was never a real reason for the stock to be rupees 100 in the first place. Now here's where it gets really interesting, and this is the part that most finance channels will never tell you. It's not just random operators doing this in the shadows. Sometimes, and I want you to really hear this, sometimes the promoter of the company itself is involved. The person who runs the business using their own stock as a tool to raise cash. And the regulator system, while it exists, is slow. By the time SEBI investigates and acts, the operator is long gone. The money is moved. The retail investor is left holding a worthless stock with no recourse. So the question is, how do you spot it before it happens to you? Most people think pump and dump is about finding the right stock tips, avoiding bad sources, being most careful. That's not it. The real insight is this: pump and dump works because of human psychology, not because of bad information. The operator doesn't trick you with lies. They trick you with excitement, social proof, and FOMO. Three things that bypass your logic completely. Here's what I mean. When the stock is rising fast and everyone around you is making money, your brain doesn't say this could be manipulation. Your brain says, I need to get it before I miss it. That's not stupidity. That's just how human beings are wired. We are social animals. We follow the herd. And operators know this better than anyone. So here's the structural pattern to watch for. These are the four signals that almost always appear together in a pump and dump. Signal 1, unusual volume spike. A stock that was trading 50,000 shares a day suddenly trading 10 lakh shares with no news, no earnings, no announcement. This is not organic. Someone is making that stock. Signal 2, price moving faster than fundamentals. If a company's revenue hasn't changed, its profit haven't changed, its business hasn't changed, but its stock price doubled in 3 weeks, ask why. A good business grows slowly. A pumped stock grows fast. Signal 3, the narrative appears out of nowhere. Suddenly, there's a story, a contact, a partnership, a government angle, and it's everywhere at the same time. WhatsApp, Telegram, YouTube, Instagram, all at once. Real news doesn't spread like that. Coordinated promotion does. Signal 4, no institutional holding. Check the shareholding pattern. If there are 0 or near 0 FII or DII holdings, meaning no mutual funds, no insurance companies, no foreign investors, that's a red flag. Institutions do real research. If there's no not in it, ask yourself why. And you see all four together, that's not opportunity, that's a trap with your name on it. So next time a stock comes flying into your WhatsApp group, here's exactly how to think about it. First, check the volume history. Go back 6 months on any charting app. Was this stock dead silent before? If yes, the volume spike is manufactured. Second, check the shareholding. Open the NSE or BIC website. Look at the latest quarterly shareholdings data. If promoters hold 70 to 80% and institutions hold almost nothing, the flood is tiny and easy to manipulate. Third, ignore the story. I know that sounds harsh, but the more exciting the narrative sounds, the more suspicious you should be. Real multi-backers don't need a WhatsApp capital. Fourth, ask yourself who is on the other side of the tree. When you buy, someone is selling to you. Who is that person? Why are they selling if this stock is such a great opportunity? And finally, the most important rule, if you find out about the stock from a tip, you are not early, you are late. The people who are early are the ones who create the tip. Here's the harsh truth about markets. The stock market is one of the only places in the world where the product being sold goes up in price. And people want it more, not less. More. That's not rational, but it's human. And operators have built an entire business model around the one human flaw. They don't need you to be greedy, they just need you to be normal, to see something going up and want a piece of it. That's all. The investor who survives long term isn't the smartest one in the room, it's the one who learned the boss right at the moment of maximum excitement and ask, am I the buyer here or am I the exit? Because in markets, the most dangerous moment is not when you're scared, it's when you're confident. That's the difference most people never understand, and that's what we focus on at Zedvisor.